Salam, hello, and welcome. Now, what do you do when you have a bad bulb light in your car? Most people will go to auto care center and ask them to replace it. Even some spare part shops will replace it for you. The reason behind that, it's because it's a very simple job. And I'm going to show you this with this 2010 Ford Mondeo. Now, I noticed when I start the car that a message pops up in the dashboard and says that there is a bad bulb light. So let's do that. Here it says a stop lamp bulb fault. I went and I checked the stop lights. All the stop lights are working. And I even checked those lights under the mirror, and both are working. The rear stop lights are working as well. I found that to be strange. However, when I turn the headlight on, I noticed that the left one is not working. The message kind of was misleading because it said stop lamp, and this is actually a headlight. But I guess that was the technology or the communication back in 2010. Now I also noticed that one of the rear brake lights is not working, and that's the right one. So I went and I bought a headlight bulb for the Ford Mondeo, and I already had one tail light or brake light bulb. I used one a few years ago and the other one stayed. So I'm going to use it now. Okay, so actually the Mondeo, they made a smart access panel here for the brake lights, and all you have to do is push it and take it out. And you can straight away get access to the bulbs. So all you have to do is take the bulb connection out. Now there is a small clip on the side here. It is this little guy here. All I have to do is squeeze it and pull out, and so the connection is out. In order to pull this bulb rack, this rack actually contains two bulbs. The upper one is the blinker, the lower one is the stop/brake bulb. In order to take this bulb rack out, I'll have to push this little guy down like so and pull the rack at the same time. There it is. So here's the bulb rack. Now you can see the black or the dark color around the brake bulb, which is a good indicator that it's bad. This bulb usually contains dual tungsten wires. One actually serves as stop light, the other one serves as brake light. I'm wearing gloves, and I'm wearing gloves for very good reason other than the infamous coronavirus. Mainly because I don't want any grease from my hands to land on the new bulb light. It's better not to, because if any grease or my fingerprints lands on the bulb light, those areas or that area will be hotter than the rest of the bulb light, and the bulb light eventually will fail quicker than its presumed life. To take the bulb out of the rack, all you have to do is push and twist, and then it will come right out. And to put the new bulb light, the same procedure. Now note that there are two holes here, and you have to have these pins going through these two holes. One pin actually is higher than the other one. This is the lower pin, this is the higher pin. Take a look inside to figure out which one is the higher one and which one is the lower one. So again, just push and twist, and there you go. So I'm ready to put this back now. So I'm going to put it back the same way I took it out. The indicator light should be at the top, the brake light should be at the bottom. Now that the rack is sitting in its place, all I have to do is push it until I hear the click. And at last, I'll just take the wire connection cable and pull it back. And you need to push the cable until again you hear a click. And that's it. The light is fixed now. And the last thing to do is to put the cover back. And done. So let's go and check it out. Also, besides the brake light and the headlight, I noticed that this light was not working, the license plate. Only the left one, the right one was working from the beginning. Now, I did tap on it, it did work. This means maybe the bulb is not seated right in its place, or that the bulb is not making a decent contact with its base, or with the wires, or with the conductor. I'm going to open this, take the bulb out, and make sure it's seated properly in its place. Okay, to take this light out, usually come with the small flathead screwdriver and sort of pry it like this. Of course, it will be much easier if I open the trunk, but I want to capture this on video. Okay, sorry about that. I had to pull the housing off the camera while the trunk was open. It was very difficult to do it this way, but then you twist and pull. And now that the light is out of its housing, I'm going to take the bulb out and put it back in, making sure it's seated properly. Okay, so now I know it is properly seated. Put it back in its housing, twist, and that's it. Always make sure that the housing is secured as it should and it's not loose. Just make sure it's secured, otherwise it's going to fall down on your drive. Now, many car models, they actually provide easy accessibility to the bulbs for the headlights. Unfortunately, this one is not one of them, so I'll have to take the headlight out. Yeah, always make sure that the lights are off before starting to work on it. So that's what I did. I turned the light off before I take it out. I'm needing my bare hands for better control with this. So the light actually is mounted on the car with two screws. Here's one and here's the other one. Now each one of these is Torx T30. So let's start taking them out. Oops. Always be careful not to drop any screws, because if they jump down below, it's very difficult to get them back. Might be. Sometimes they just fall all the way down. I'm actually letting the headlight rest on a rag to avoid scratching the bumper. Now to access the bulb, there is this access panel here with two clips, and you need just to open it like that. And then maybe take it out. Okay, so now to gain access to the bulb, I'm going to squeeze and pull while rocking back and forth. Like so. So now we can just take the bulb out. And now to put the new one in. I'm going to turn on the light and see if it works. Okay, so now I'm going to put back the connector where it belongs. Push it to secure it in its place. And then put in the cover back. So to make the reinstallation of the headlight easier, I'm going to remove this screw right here, which holds the front grille, so I can have better movement for the front grille. It's so old it doesn't want to move. Alright, I'm going to have to do it without moving this. Just pull the bumper slightly and push the headlight in its place. Yeah, make sure headlight is fully seated, properly seated as well. So now I'm going to reinstall both screws back, starting with the big and obvious. Yeah, that's what I've been talking about. I'm going to use a magnet, and I pray that this is a steel screw. It is. And that's it. So now I'm going to start the car and see if the same message will pop up again. No message. That's good. That's good. So we turn the headlight on. And both headlights are working now. And this is how easy it is to replace or change bad bulbs for your lights in your car. The way to take the bulbs out and install them can vary from one car to another. There are various wide range of different bulbs. Every car has its specific number for the bulbs they are using. For example, the headlight for this one is H7. I know that the headlight for the F-150 and the Expedition is H13. Now, if you like this video, please comment, share. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care, be safe, and do it yourself.